is my moment, watch me shine. I'm unstoppable, feel it in my soul. Good vibes only, I'm in control. Turn the music up, let the rhythm roll. I move my body, I'm alive, I glow. Unstoppable, dancing through the fire. Every step higher, taking me higher. Smile so big, can't hold it in. Good vibes, good life, let's begin. Every scar made me wiser. Every tear lit the fire. I don't fear what's ahead.
And I am live, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing amazing. As actually today we just finished our mastermind meeting with my business partners globally, worldwide. Yeah, so it's about 3.3 thousand people joined on tonight's mastermind. Yeah, so I'm so grateful to be here. I'm kind of little under the weather, but again, it's not something that I really want to focus into. My voice, I'm losing my voice. But again, it's all about showing up on my business. Then after that, that's why I came here a little early so I can do a very short go live since this is my day 10 of doing this 90 days score and success challenge that I have been doing with my team and my business partners as well. So uh, just coming here to so just coming here to really talk about this topic, which is real tips for aspiring entrepreneurs without burning out. You know, and this is just so amazing, guys, because this is a part of the blueprint that I created way back on October of 2023, and it has helped a lot of business partners that I have back then, because again, when they go live, they really don't know what topic they're going to be talking about. That's why I created an everyday topic that they can do reels, they can pause, and they can post on social media, or they can even talk here live on every social media that they account that they have. As for me, I am going live on my three business page, which is my personal page, my business page on Facebook, and also my YouTube page. Okay. Oh my god, I can't even hear. Yeah, having some cold, guys. Yeah, so again, I just really want to take a moment of gratitude to say thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Before this, I have been scheduling my post, right? I hadn't had a chance to do that later today because I was so busy at work. I just did a follow up. I just did a follow up and being able to do or really do my scheduling tonight. So thanks. Yeah. So you will always find a way. Once you're so hungry enough for success, you'll always find a way unless you're finding some excuse, right? So again, good evening, everyone. Whether you are here watching live or catching the replay later, I want you to know that this conversation is so intentional, very, very intentional. That's why tonight I want to speak directly to those aspiring entrepreneurs, the one who feels the pull. I know some of you probably inquire about my business, right? About my business tonight, and also probably some of you are still on the age of joining the business. But let me tell you guys, it's one of the best decisions that I have done. Like, yes, I was very skeptical in the beginning, but of course I did my due diligence before I even start, right? Yeah. So again, this really speak directly to you if you really wanted to try something different in the online space. Oh my god, AI is now ruling the internet. Every time I go online or go to the job search, it's all about AI, right? And it's really changing the job force, right? The workforce, I mean. That's why it's always nice to learn something new, to be ahead of the game. And of course, we're training you anyway, right? So the one who feels the pull, right? The one who knows there is more in your life, the one who wants freedom, but also fears failure. And I want to do this differently. This is not a hype business. There's not pressure, and this is not a get rich quick, right? But I really want to talk to you guys honestly. If you're looking for long term, and you want to change your identity and a sustainable business, again, this business is literally for you, because entrepreneurship is not just about the money. It's about who you become as a person, right? Money will come. That's why they said that you can only earn money once you rendered a service to someone else, right? And you'll change so much once you learn more about you, once you learn more about the business, how this business can literally change someone else's lives by sharing the benefits, and the potentiality of this business that can literally change generations, right? And I really want to share with you the tips I wish someone explained to me clearly when I started, right? And one thing that I've learned that I really want to share it with you guys is become the person before you see the results. That is the number one thing. That is the tip number one that I can share it with you guys. And this is something that I've learned the hard way from the beginning. From the beginning, I'm always think about the money, but it's actually not. I'm not getting the results, the one I want, every time I think about the money. I became the person before I see the results. That's where you start, right? Entrepreneurship is not something you do. It is something you become as a person. Kasi most people start a business focus on how much can I make. They focus on how fast can I grow, right? And they focus when will I see the results. But they skip the most important questions. Who do I need to become to handle success? So important, because if your identity does not match your goal, your nervous system will reject it. Really keep that in mind, and this is something that I've learned from my mentor, Bob Proctor. You have to be one with the goal, and you have to fall in love from the goal. Okay, it's not something you chase the goal, it's something that you attract. And how you're gonna attract, you have to think and act like the person who already achieved the goal, right? You cannot hold what you have not prepared for you cannot hold what you have not prepared yourself for. So, when I first started building online, I had to shift from employee thinking to ownership thinking. That's why when I go to work, I always stay at work. I don't bring business to work. Yes, I can apply the mindset thing at work so I can share it with my employees, but it's not something that I can implement what's happening in my entrepreneurship, right? As a business owner, and bring that to work. It's not gonna work that way. Employee mindset asks when is the payday, right? Entrepreneur mindset asks how can I create value to someone today, right? How can I serve someone today to become who they are as a person? And of course, I can also show that at work, but they still don't get it if they are not in position that I am, right? That shift alone changes everything. Tip number two that I can share it with you guys is stop looking for fast, you know, start building strong. This one is so important in a business. If you're entering entrepreneurship looking for fast money, you will burn out, because fast creates pressure. Okay, fast creates pressure, and pressure creates emotional instability. Real business owners build foundations. They build the system which we have. That's something that we provide. They build habits. Yes, we will help you create new habits, right? Yes, we doubt, we become skeptical, we have so many questions in our minds, but you can only uh, understand if you really understand how your brain works, right? There's a lot of trainings that talks about that, right? And they build relationship. This is something that I love so much because you are surrounding yourself with like-minded people who have the same goal like you. So in times that you need help, there's always one person who is willing to help you. In a corporate world, yes, your boss, your colleagues can help you with that, but again, like, it's so hard to grow when you're in a corporate, especially if there's a lot of competition right there. But in the entrepreneurship world, you are your own boss. You can grow fast as you want, and you can be your own you are your own boss, guys. So you can build multiple sources of income if you want to, and you manage your own time too, right? Yeah, so the word always glorifies overnight success. But what they don't show up is the repetition. I love repetition. Repetition is the mother of learning. Or I will say the repetition is the law of the universe, right? Yeah, it's the language, is the language of the universe, right? So, oh yeah, the rejection too. But why they don't show up is because the repetition. Mostly people doesn't like to do repetition, but in our business, we teach you to repeat, repeat, repeat until you get it. They're afraid they don't show up because the rejection, the learning curve, the silent seasons. Again, repetition is the first law of learning. The more you repeat, the more you master, and mastery builds confidence, and confidence builds consistency, and consistency builds result. It's not hype, but we show you the structure, right? And then tip number 3. So number 1 is what I mentioned earlier, is become the person you see. Become the person before you see the results. And number 2 is stop looking for fast, start building strong. Okay. Number 3 is discipline over motivation. And this is something that I've learned in a mastermind. 3.3 thousand people worldwide showed up tonight for a mastermind meeting. And one of the founders mentioned that motivation, nobody will give you motivation. You are the only one who can create motivation on yourself, right? If your why is big enough, you will always find a way to motivate yourself and not quit, and not just give up easily, right? That's why discipline over motivation. It's so strong once you discipline your mind to think differently, to act differently, to take action differently. You don't even needed motivation. Yeah. And let me say something honestly, motivation will leave you. There will be days when you feel tired. There will be days that you feel unseen. And there will be days you question yourself all the time. And that is normal. But again, if you are your own boss, right? And you own a business, or you started running a business, it will stretch you emotionally before it rewards you financially. Because again, you have to really build a strong foundation of the business, right? You can just plant a seed and you will just harvest the seed on the next day. No, it doesn't work that way. There's a law behind it. You have to really plant the seed. What is that seed? Probably it's your goal, the vision or purpose, right? What you're gonna do, you water it with faith. And yeah, you water it with faith, water it with gratitude, and try to remove that weeds that's slowly growing. Those weeds are your limiting belief. You have to work on yourself every single day. You can't just plant a seed and you will dig it out immediately, because again, it takes time for the seed to just sprout, right? Once it sprout, there's some roots, goes underneath the ground to build a strong foundation of, to build a strong foundation of that plant. So if in times of a storm, it will not just what is that? It will not uh, fall down right away, right? You have to really. That's why it takes time. You can't just be digging up and like, oh, are you there yet? You know, when will I harvest you? No, it doesn't. It doesn't work that way. Yes, the bamboo tree. You know, the bamboo tree. You plant the bamboo tree. You will not see the progress of the bamboo tree after 5 years, and then after 5 years, boom, it's already like 5 feet, 10 feet. All of a sudden, that's how our goal is. Like the baby too. We are, or it's known that baby will come out in 9 months. But no, it's incorrect. That's in our mind. That's what we learn from other people. It's in God's due time. I have a coworker, right? She thought that the baby will come out in 9 months. The baby come out in 7 months. Premature baby. See, you cannot really hold your when you will reap the result, when the baby will come out. It's God's law, right? The only thing you need to do is to just is strong faith, believe, show up every single day, even though there are so many times that you want to give up. But again, is your why is big enough? My why is so big. My why are my two precious kids. That's why even though I'm tired, I have to show up every single day because I know that this is just temporary. I'm still building the foundation of my business. And once that business is so strong, you will know that, you know what, I'm going to retire. I'm going to find my boss, right? But right now, it's not yet. Because you know that once you're ready, right? Yeah, so even though I'm working full time, I'm running the business part time, it's doing successfully again. But I always ask myself, is this the right time for me to fire my own boss? And then the answer is no. Not only that, is because like I know my business, right? And medical here in the United States is so expensive, right? If you have an employer, they can really pay really good ones. I have a really good medical, and that's the reason why I'm still working, and I love my job too. Unless I hate my jobs, probably I retired for a long time. But I love my job. I love what I do. Also, I love the people that I work with as well, and I love my business. And then the business is doable because I only run it 2 to 3 hours every single day. It is automated, and the business is really doing the work for me, right? Yeah. So what carries you through? Discipline. Discipline is self-respect in action. For me, is discipline is self-love as well. It is showing up even when no one claps at you. I remember when I started this journey, I show up even though nobody is watching. I go live and nobody is watching. I post on social media, nobody is reacting, nobody is engaging. Did I stop? No. I show up every single day because I know that there are one person or two-person that is watching that needed that motivation coming from me, right? And then yeah, this is this is a business. Like you open your business, right? Even though it's traditional business, you still need to find people that will buy your product. That's why if this is something that you chose, like the good news is that we have a system. We have mentorship and coaching in the business. We provide training. You have an amazing community that supports you, and you have a mentor and a coach that will guide you along the way. It's not like you started the business and then here you go, you do it by yourself. No, it doesn't work that way. This is not something that I sign up. I don't have any experience in a digital world back then, but because of my big fat why, which is my kids, if they teach me, I know I can learn. I have a 72 years old business partner in the business community. She is way better than me. The first time that I had to talk with her because she is my direct, right? She's my mentee. And Arnett, I never done any computer before. I don't know. And she's 72 years old. Like, you can do it. We will teach you. And now the table turns around. She is way better than me. you know, she is, oh my gosh, she is so good and creating AI than me. Like, I don't know what she's doing, but it's just consistently posting on her social media. Like, I love all her posts. And then and going back, like, wow, she told me that she doesn't know anything about the business. And she's 72. That's why you never underestimate someone by age, because if these people are willing to learn, you will always find a way to learn and implement it. And that's basically what happened. She's so disciplined, right? Again, discipline is self-respect in action. She implement what she's learning. It is showing up when no one claps at you. It is following up when they don't respond to you too. It is studying when you don't feel like it, but you show up anyway, right? The fortune is in the follow up, guys. The good news, we don't chase, we don't beg, but being intentional, like, is very, very important. You do it in a calm way, certain way, in a structured way, right? So it's something uh, that I've learned from her too. Show up even though you don't want it. Do you know that mostly successful people doesn't like cold calling, but they do it anyway because that's where money is, right? There's so many people also doesn't like to follow up, but what it's again, it's being intentional. Why are you following up? We are dealing in an online world, digital world. If you only follow up one time, this person doesn't even know you. You really need to build relationship with that person, because anything in online world, I think it's a scam, it's a, what is pyramid scheme, or whatever it is. And then they show you, they see you online. Do you think they can trust you? No, you have to really build that relationship with these people until they trust you, because traditional business is totally different, because you are meeting these people in person. But again, online world, you can FaceTime with that person. You can do your due diligence by going to their pages if this person is really real or not. You can ask many, many questions if you want to. Then you can decide when you're ready, right? So that's the best part. So there's no such thing as like really that someone can trust you from day one. It doesn't work that way. That's why follow up, follow up, follow up is the key here. And number four tip that I can share it with you guys is choose the right environment. You know, environment shapes identity, guys. Environment shapes identity. If you surround yourself with people who doubt business, those are not the people that you want to work with. Okay. Is If you surround yourself with people who fear risk and mock growth, I don't think you want to surround yourself with these people. You will shrink to stay comfortable, right? You will drift immediately. In a business world, entrepreneurship requires proximity to growth. And this is so big that I've learned from Bob Proctor. Proximity. Always surround yourself with the right people, with the right mindset, with the people that can support you, can scold you, because they want the best in you. I have accountability partners in the business, and they scold me because they want the best in me. And I do the same thing. It's not something like I'm scolding them. Those are tough love, because I want this person to not give up. You just give up of something very, very small, and because of that, you don't want to show up in your business for 1 week. Oh my goodness. No, it doesn't. That's why accountability partners is so important in the business, because once you are in a low, 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 we have moments, right? We have moments. But what's next? Are you going to stay here for the first few days and cry? It doesn't work that way. Okay, what I do, I have some moments too. I acknowledge that moment. Now what? Right? Now what's next? Because that moment is actually feedback. It's telling you something. That's why be open, embrace it, embrace your moments, embrace challenges in your life because they are teaching you something, right? And then mentorship matters too, guys. Mentorship, if you surround yourself with lots of mentors like me, right? I surround myself with great mentors. Great community matters too. Structure business matters too. Because again, once you are joining in a business that is in a chaos, that's not something that you want to go through. You want a step by step process that really gives you some clarity and clear direction, right? So that's it. Because when you feel uncertain, for example, you need someone who has already walked the path, not to carry you but to guide you instead. There is power in being around people who normalize success. That's why in our business community, there's so many leaders over there that free up their time to really showcase their success, their tips. And there's a Zoom meeting daily also in our business community. Share their success, share their tips, and willing to hold you by the hand and really walk you through the process. And just like me, if I am on vacation, for example, I can always connect with someone to take good care of my people, to take good care of someone else, to take good care of my leads probably. See, so again, we work hand in hand here in the business. Tip number 5, right? Learn emotional regulation. What does that mean? No one talks about this enough, but this is so important. This is an entrepreneurship entrepreneurship or being a business owner is emotional. Yes, you will experience excitement, right? You will experience fear. You will experience rejection. I've been rejected so many times. Someone always say no to me, but what did I stop? No to me is not yet. It's all about perspective in motion, right? If someone say no to me, oh, well, it's great. That means there's always one person who will say yes to me, right? And then this is also the place where you build confidence. You will experience confidence. The first time I went live, I don't have much confidence, but through repetition, I build that over time. Doing be 1% getting better every single day because it compounds over time, right? Yes, you have a moment of doubt. That is normal too. But again, acknowledge it and use your reasoning power. What is the reasoning power? That is one of your mental faculties. That's a gift from God that you can reject what is working, what is not working, and choose what is working for you. And also you will experience expansion. You will know more about yourself. You will know more about the community you're working with. You will know more about the people that you are surrounding with. Then you can pick and choose what kind of people you want to work with, because you're expanding your awareness, right? You're expanding your emotional intelligence too. You are creating a really good standard, a really good self image, because you're building that as you go. 5 minutes ago, that's not me. You know, I'm growing every single day. I'm growing every time I move forward, right? Aranet's 5 minutes ago, Aranet is totally different, right? So sometimes in the same way, you will experience this all together: excited, fear, rejection. It's the same thing with the weather, right? Sometimes it rains, just like today. It rains, it's sunny, windy, it's icy, right? So those are different kind of seasons of life. This is the game of life that we are playing with, and we have to really adapt ourselves to. The good news, you are capable of doing that, right? You just need to understand how your mind works. Okay, like even though like it's so cold, you can always imagine, visualize yourself that you're in Mexico. in the sunshine, in your mind, right? Just like I had a really good conversation with one of my clients yesterday, and it's pouring outside. And he was so amazed when I know today actually, because it's the first day of Lent, right? And he's about to go to church, and he did mention it was raining. And I told him, like, today is the great day. It's a great day, even though it's raining outside, but we needed this rain. We don't see much rain all the time, but our plants need it. We need it also. And it's so many people. So like that's the reason why sometimes once you really expand the level of your awareness, people complains all the time. It's raining, it's cold, and I get it. That was the old version of me, but they don't see the picture behind it. And for me, I understand, because that's how we program. We always say bad thing first before good things, good stuff, right? And for me, I was just like, I'm still thinking. I don't judge. I see that they're complaining about the cold. There's complaining about, like, this is only happened today. It never happened before. Because it was so icy this morning, and never happened here in our area. There's an there's Mount Contra Costa. Someone it's just so icy. And the thing is, like, every time people will come out of work, and they always say, like, did you see the thing? It's so cold and it's raining. And so again, I don't want to go that way, but again, it's just like we say a not good word first before the good stuff will come. you know So, and then the thing is, like, I understand them, because that's not really them at all. That's how we program. Yeah. So that's why, if you cannot really regulate your emotions, you will make decisions from panic, you know, and panic destroys progress. This is why I protect my mornings. My morning routine is the sacred part of my day. This is why I wake up in a certain period of time, 3 a.m., because I take that time to really do my breathing meditation, right? Centered myself, grounding myself, right? Because peace is power for me. So every time I go to work, even though it's raining, even though something going on at work, every day is a great day for me, right? Because peace, again, peace is power. Structure is freedom. So once you have built that structure of your day, it gives you the flexibility to do anything, to think anything, whatever you want, and not letting the outside world in control of you, right? That's freedom, freedom in your mind. Because when your mind is calm, your decisions are clear. Okay. And tip number 6 that I really want to share tonight's topic is understand the value of creation. Money is a byproduct of value, guys. It's not effort. It's not how many hours you work. It's value. The value that you shared to the client. It's a service rendered that you shared with the client. And once your client was happy, and then of course you get paid after that. If you solve problems consistently, incomes follow, because again, in this business, we are solving the problem of this person, how they can earn passive income online and really build a sustainable business and a legacy that they can pass on to generation. That is value. And once you solve the problem of this person, then what's going to happen? They buy the product, and once they buy the product, that's where you make money. You can't just make money just easily without sharing the benefits of these products to that person, right? Yeah, it is all about serving. It is all about clarity. You educate, then after that, they transform. And when you shift from how do I make money to how do I help, how do I help these people, how do I serve these people, then what's gonna happen? Everything expands. Okay. And tip number 7, be patient with the process. Oh my goodness. Like, most people quit too early. They plant seeds, then they dig them up every week to check the growth. You know, entrepreneurship requires faith, not blind faith, but what is that word? But informed faith. You must trust the process. You must trust the system, right? I trust the system because it's been my goodness, like they've been successful people use the system for many, many, many years, and it's very, very effective. You have to trust the structure of the business, you know, and you have to trust the timeline too. The timeline is not all about you, how how fast you work, how hard you work. You have That's God's time, you know. And growth is invisible before it is visible, you know. So that's the reason why you have to really detach yourself from the result. What does that mean? You have to really build that vision in your mind, even though you don't see the result yet in front of you. Do you think you're going to be successful? Do you know? But quick question, like, I know that I'll be become a banker one day, and I was not a banker. I just told myself, I write it on my vision board that I'll be working in a bank. I really don't know how, but I detached the how, you know, because that's God's work. And I just finished my college back then, but I know that even though I finished a computer science. Yes, I finished a computer science. um yes, I finished a bachelor of computer science. I have no work for 1 year, and then my mom told me to you I had to find a job, right? And then of course I tried. Yeah, I tried looking and looking for a job. Nobody employed me, and from the middle of the street I had this whisper. You know, I heard a whisper. I really don't know, I believe it is the intuition. And then I've been watching these beautiful ladies at the bank in front of me, and I told myself, one day I'll be a banker. And then I just detach it. I am jobless that time. I detach it. After 5 years, I became a banker. See, when you have to really detach yourself, you have to really forget the timeline. You already know, where you're going, and you believe in your system. You believe in yourself first. Then after 5 years, I became a banker, right? Growth is invisible before it is visible. What does that mean? I already build that picture in my mind that I'm already that banker, and before it becomes visible, it only shows up after 5 years. And if you stay consistent long enough, compounding works in your favor. That's why never ever stop. Okay. And um, tip number eight is protect your reputation. This is so important. In the online world, right? Credibility is your currency. You know, you have to operate with integrity. You know, do not overpromise, do not exaggerate. Be transparent, you know, invite them in the community so they can see it, right? Long term entrepreneurs protect trust because they want to build more relationship with them, because if they're happy, I know they can recommend more people, because trust builds longevity, right? They stay with you for so long, and they can recommend whatever it is. They will stay with you, right? So that's also important. Protect your reputation. Another one is tip number 9 that I can share it with you guys is build your life, not to escape it. And this is so huge, guys. This is so big. Some people start businesses to escape their life. It shouldn't be it shouldn't be that way. I build mine to support my life, right? I started this business because I want freedom and flexibility to travel anywhere in the world, because this business really allow me to do that. I'm not stuck into one corner and wait, right, uh, for people to come. No, my business is global. My business office is anywhere, right? I can travel to Mexico and bring my business with me. This is this business really create flexibility. You can work it anytime, allows you to be freedom to explore, freedom to connect with anyone, freedom to do anything, whatever you want. Of course, with including your family too. And this business creates legacy. I can pass this business to my family, to my grandkids in the future. This is not chaos. This is not burnout. This is not a hassle culture. If your business consume your peace, that means this is not a business for you. Build something that fits your values, and that's very important. Do you see yourself helping many people? You know, for me, when I joined the business, and that's why I love this business so much, because this is where I found my mentor, and this is where I found my purpose, to serve. And because of this business, I am feeding 100 families in Kilifi, Kenya. This business stretched me to be more uncomfortable, because uh, because if you want more, you have to do more, and you have to do more, you have to help more, and once you help more, you serve more also, right? And I truly believe in that, and this is something I've joined many businesses in the past and it didn't work. But did I regret it? No, because that was a stepping stone. That was, I am being prepared for something better and bigger in my life. Yeah, so build something that fits your value, not something that impresses strangers. Okay. Yeah, so one last tip that I'm gonna share it with you guys is decide that you are not quitting. Know, you invested so much energy and time in the business, and because you don't see the result for the first 3 months, and you just quit right away, right? Decide that you are not quitting. This might be the most important one on all the tips that I shared you tonight. Because again, entrepreneurship is less about talent and more about decision. If you remove quitting as an option, you become unstoppable. Okay? If you remove quitting as your vocabulary, you will never stop. You keep running and running and running and just enjoy the journey. Not because you move fast, but because you move consistently and never stop running, right? And consistently always wins. Trust me. That's why sometimes it's okay to just pause a little bit. But again, ask yourself, if you pause the second time, like, oh my God, what am I doing? I Is this laziness, or is this something um um that I really need to do every single day? Because if you want success so bad, you will always find time for you to work on your business, right? Because I treat my business as my invisible child. It needs nourishment, it needs pampering, that's the reason why I don't quit, because I treated this as my third babies, because I'm building legacy for my babies. That's why I treated this business as my invisible baby in my tummy, that I need to take good care of it, nourish it, water it with sunlight, water it with faith, water it with gratitude, feed it with gratitude, faith that my baby is healthy. When you were pregnant, when I was pregnant, that's how I take good care of my own baby when I was pregnant. I want to make it sure that positive thinking, that my baby come out healthy. I have to eat nutritious food for the baby to eat inside my tummy, right? It's the same thing with your goal. It has nothing to do, even though you don't see it yet. Do you see your baby when you were pregnant? No. You see those tiny little things. It's growing, because the plant, right? Once you plant a seed, you don't see it yet, right? You don't see it yet. You see the seed, but you don't see it yet when it's growing. it's it's building the foundation underneath the ground, and it's slowly growing up and growing up. The same thing with your tummy, right? Your tummy is growing and growing and growing, and then boom, the baby is there. All right, so never ever give up. Yeah, so I think that's it. Consistency always wins. So that's why if you are here aspiring to become an entrepreneur, let me tell you this. This is from the heart, okay? You don't need to be fearless. You just need to decide, you know. You don't need to know everything. You need to be teachable. You don't need to rush things because this business is not something you rush. You need to build a strong foundation. And if you're hardworking mom, or you're hardworking or dreamers like me, or someone who wants something steady, intentional, and structured, there is a space for you. You are welcome to join. Because again, entrepreneurship is not about becoming someone else, it is becoming more of who you truly are. So just keep that in mind. So if this resonates with you, just think about it. Join, check it out, ask questions. There's no pressure. We're just giving you some clarity. Okay, so yeah, so that's something that I really want to share it with you guys tonight, and I hope you've learned so much golden nugget and shared you all the tips that I've learned from the business itself. So yes, thank you so much, Khadija. Don't give up. Yes, we're not here to give up, right? Because if you give up, that means your why is not big enough. And selfish, that's really real true. Yes, it's Carmen. Yeah. And then, yes, hello, coach. Surrounds people who are dreamers. That is so true because you become one of them. And then, yeah, so this is something that I've learned too. Um, I met a very first billionaire in my life, and then this is something that I've learned from Remy, and he did mention that if you surround yourself with a high performer leaders, you become one of them. And this also reminds me from, I've heard this somewhere else, that if you surround yourself with 5 millionaires, you will become the sixth millionaire. And I truly believe in that. That's why it's so important to really pick and choose the environment that you're surrounding with, you know, and pick and choose the qualities of the people that you want to borrow with and become one, right? Especially if your formula of success is not working for you, borrow someone else's formula, because you never know that someone else's formula is the one that breaks the patterns. You know, because if you are doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you are expecting the same results, my goodness, that's insanity. You know, that's why, like, okay, I did this for 2025, it didn't work. Am I gonna do this again in 2026? If you're not happy with the results on 2025, I think you just need to break the pattern. I think you just need to really create a new self-image, and find someone else formula and implement that in your life. You know, because again, that was me before. I do things over and over again, like, oh my god, I become so frustrated because I don't see any result. And now I become open. I was so close-minded before. I know what I want. I thought I know everything about about the business, even though I undergone so many training. And that made me realize, after learning the teachings of Bob Proctor, that made me realize that I don't know anything. That's why sometimes if you are an employee, right, just like me, never ever compare your past jobs to the new job. You have to de-educate yourself in order for you to be good. You have experience, but don't follow their formula back then, because they have better. Unless you learn something using your memory, right? What did I learn from the previous company that I can bring it to the table in this company, right? But again, never ever compare. And I learned the hard way with that. I keep comparing my previous and my job right now, and little did I know that that the current one have better system than the other one. That's why I have to really de-educate myself, knowing that I don't know anything, because you will always find technologies right now is getting newer and newer and newer. And then now, right now, AI, artificial intelligence, is just like crazy, crazy, right? Yeah. So again, embrace the change, you know, and be open to learning. That's something that I've learned. Yeah, and surround yourself with people with growth minded. That's correct. Yeah, I love the system. Me too. Oh, thank you, Grace. Make actions. You did actions, sis. It takes time to care, but it grows unstoppable. That's correct. Just like the bamboo tree, right? Thank you, coach. Important insights. You're welcome, guys. See, so this is global. Yeah, the bamboo tree. I love that story. Thank you so much, Anamika. Thank you for sharing, encouraging. You're welcome. Hi, coach. Oh, so many guys. Thank you so much for all your support in here. I love you guys. You know, this you guys are incredible for being with me tonight. Yeah. So again, this is it, everyone. So I'm really hoping that you learned a lot from me tonight, and then you can implement that in your life as well. So that's it. So much. Thank you so much. It's already 8:20. Just do a little bit of meditation and then gonna go to work. All right. Thank you so much. And again, if no one has said this to you yet, I love you guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for my day 11 of this 90 days current success challenge. Have a good night. Thank you.
This is my moment, watch me shine. I'm unstoppable, feel it in my soul.